This is part of Paul's most solemn warning. He says, listen, before you Gentiles, before you came in and you were grafted into Israel, you were a wild olive branch. You were without God, without hope in all the earth. And so we were essentially pagans. And if you're a Gentile Christian, at some point in your life, or back, whether, maybe you have a fifth generation Christian, somewhere back in your family history, the Lord intervened into a pagan family, and he revealed himself. The God of Israel revealed himself, and now we're part of this global family. And he says, listen, the only reason that you've come in is because my people Israel, that I've been cultivating, I've been working with for thousands of years, I hardened them in order that you pagans could come in. And so he calls on us to be humble and to recognize where we've come from and the position that we have, and to acknowledge and have an attitude of honor where honor is due. And unfortunately, again, much of the church has failed to walk in that place of simple honor that he calls us to.
Very well said. What is Islamic supersessionism?
Yeah, well, this is just the Islamic version of replacement theology. And very simply, throughout the earth, you have Christian replacement theology. But when Muhammad came along, the founder of Islam, the Christians that he rubbed shoulders with there in Arabia, they were all Nestorian Christians. They embraced replacement theology. And so as he was sort of this fledgling cult leader, if you will, starting his new religion, he looked at the Christians who said, we replace Israel. And he said, well, fine, I replace you. I replace both you and the Jewish people. So throughout the Middle East today, Christians are being slaughtered by supersessionist Muslims who took their lead from ancient Arabian Christians. And in many ways, as painful as it is to say, Christianity's supersessionist chickens have come home to roost, and we're getting a taste of our own medicine.
You know, you write in the book about Martin Luther and some of the statements he made about Jews, pretty stunning. I think a lot of people didn't know that he said what he said. And then here comes Hitler and the Holocaust. Was his hatred for the Jews the precursor to the Holocaust?
Absolutely. There's no question that many Christian theologians, almost from the very beginning, they laid the foundation for the Holocaust. The Holocaust did not happen in a vacuum. It didn't come out of nowhere. Adolf Hitler was building upon the ideas and the concepts that were clearly laid down and articulated by men like Martin Luther. There was, you had several hundred years history in Europe of Christians running the Jews out of Europe, of essentially communicating that they had no right to exist. You had Christian theologians that referred to Jews as pigs, as demonized dogs, as dehumanizing the Jewish people. Well, Adolf Hitler came along and called them vermin. And it was really no different than what so many so-called saints of the church throughout history had been saying. And so it was built on the legacy of the Christian church. Now, obviously, he took it further in numbers, but really the first crusade, they called that the first Holocaust. I mean, hundreds of thousands of Jews were slaughtered by confessing Christians, and that's a painful history that we need to acknowledge.
Well, it's a powerful book. It's called When a Jew Rules the World, What the Bible Really Says About Israel in the Plan of God. There's a picture on the screen put out by WND Books. Joel Richardson, you want to get a copy of this. If you want to communicate with Joel, and especially with the video that he's putting together of his trip, joelstrumpet.com is the website, and we encourage you to go there. Thank you, my friend. I don't know what you're working on next, but this is pretty heavy stuff.
It is. It's an important book for our time, but I thank you so much for having me on, Perry.
All right. God bless you, my friend. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir. Bless you.